Okay, guys, the highlights from Monday in our live trading chat room at greatstockpicks.com. They are not what they could have been. The highlights from today, but had a pretty smart watch list. Looking back on it, and some of the stocks moved really well as far as calling an entry for the group. The market made it kind of tough, and I'll show you why. Still had a nice green day, but MCP I had on watch. I sent out actually a video last night showing these setups, so I'll just briefly go over it. MCP, I said it looked like it had bottomed back here, and then was putting in a nice long base and had a lot of shorts in it, so up over this base. I gave a couple potential catalyst prices for our members, 906 and 939. 906 a break of the recent high, 930 a break of this tight little base here, and then 939 is a break of this candle. Now I'll put in today's candle to show you. Huge move, right? Huge move. When I go to an intraday showing you 5-minute candles, here's the problem. Calling a trigger and stop for a group of 200 traders is a little bit tough when it was right out of the gate. Now, about 5 minutes in, I typed in a MCP has big volume. So anyone that liked the setup and wanted in on this first candle got in, but I never did. I'm not going to make something up in this video and say, hey, I called it at 906 with a low of day stop. I didn't give out. It just all happened so fast. They had to believe in the setup and go in. But, I mean, a huge move there. Green Mountain Coffee, as soon as I learned how to type. Green Mountain Coffee was in our video last night. Talked about a possible bounce today. This is another example of one look like this, which when we play a bounce play, what we want to see is, some kind of a decent narrow range for the first half hour, or at least first 15 minutes, and then a break of the early high might get it going as it lights up the new highs ticker. So when Green Mountain Coffee, GMCR, looked like this, I said I typed in GMCR near the high of the day and had members make money off that, because basically what that means is a high of day break, and look what happens. Triggers and just a really nice move. I didn't get that one, and again, happened so fast by the time I saw it, didn't have time to put out a trigger and stop, but the high of day break worked great for some members there. Actually, my first call of the day for the chat room was Smith & Wesson, SWHC, gapped up on Friday on earnings and sold off all day, and then you can see another down day today. Actually started a position as a swing down here around 940 because of this trend line in my IRA, but that wasn't for the room. That was just a personal trade, or I'm starting a position anyway. The call was, and I'll show you 5-minute candles here. Okay, oftentimes when you have a weak day and then at the open you sell off again for the first 5 minutes, especially when you take out the previous day's low, you get a lot of shorts jumping in here trying to capitalize. They think it's going back down again. And even though they were right, SWHC did go down again. My call was above this 5-minute candle, because I've seen this happen enough times to know that if this now after this kind of action, if it breaks the 5-minute high, I'm going long. So I called it at 993 with a 980 stop, and look what happens. Right there's the trigger. Another 10 minutes later, we're up at almost 1020. Now, this did end up rolling over, but when we take an early trade like that, the only reason we're taking it is for the high of day break momentum, and look what happened. I mean, it was just money in our pockets and a nice way to start the day. A lot of people made money on that one. Certainly not worthy of bragging about, but it was an easy trade. Let's see. I know I'm jumping all over the place. My SMS pick I sent out today was Dick's Sporting Goods DKS. I called it right here at 43.85 on this green candle, or right above this candle, 43.85, and that was the low of the day. Went nicely to 49.50, and here's the thinking behind it. It had already sold off like 5 days, 6 days in a row, and then selling off big, pierced the 200-day and kept going. Somewhere around here is where it hit the 200-day and then kept going, and it was overdone. And I was actually looking at it on 15-minute candles and thought, hey, if it gets over this little red candle here, it's probably going to go. So I called it at 48.95 again, and a nice move to 49.50. Nothing really to brag about, but easy money for our SMS traders. Double check here. That may have been it. CLF was also on our radar. CLF's daily looks like it looks pretty good from here. Another one, kind of like MCP, was right out of the gate on volume, and I just couldn't find a clean entry. So the coals ran today big time, and I'm proud to say, sarcastically speaking, of course, that I never found my way into any of the coal plays. It's a little embarrassing, but anyway, I think that was all the calls from the day. I got a Best Buy scalp somewhere in here too. somewhere around 12.10. I mentioned it, showed the chart to everybody, and we got a nice move to almost 12.50. Let me think if there was anything else. And then I had a couple flat trades. Enter, little move, and then right back to my entry, and I was back out. I think FCX was one of those. So anyway, there's not much to talk about. There was no financial news scheduled today, so it was a typical slow Monday, but not if you got MCP or those coal plays. Again, I had a nice green day, but I should have done much, much better. But then, you know what? The way trading is, tomorrow's another day. So FOMC this week, guys, so be aware of that. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night.